I bet you're right, though, Lindy continued. You're the expert in these things. How many weddings have you been in lately? 6. This will be the 7th. It's like there's something in the water. No kidding. Beside me, Lindy gasped. I looked up, eyes searching for whatever had caused that reaction. When my gaze landed on a man and a woman walking toward us with a little boy bouncing happily between them, my whole world stopped. My steps faltered slightly, and I gripped the paper cup as it started to fall from my grasp. As if conjured right from my mind, there was Zach. Not in his dress blues, but no less handsome. I blinked, realizing it wasn't just Zach walking toward me. There was also a woman. And a kid. Pain lanced through my chest as our eyes met, his brown eyes wary as he searched mine. I briefly considered turning around and sprinting in the opposite direction, but we were supposed to meet Aria and Shelby at the bridal shop in 5 minutes. My world might be upside down, but it was say yes to the dress day for one of my best friends, and I wasn't about to miss it. Maybe I could simply pass by them without saying anything? This wasn't a surprise. It was a small town, and I'd known in advance he was going to move to Bluffton. I'd heard it from Ms. Hattie, who'd heard it from her leasing agent, since he was renting the apartment above her flower shop. But even though living in the same small town meant we'd be bound to run into each other, that didn't mean we needed to speak, did it? Layla, hey, he said as he approached, one corner of his mouth lifting into a tentative smile. Well, there went that idea. Lindy and I came to a stop in front of the trio, and I took a deep breath. If only we'd gone straight to the shop instead of walking over for coffee first. Then I could have avoided this whole thing. I could have continued living in a dream world where Zach Miller didn't exist. Zach Miller, my ex, and the very Marine I'd tried to banish from my mind moments before. Hi, I replied stiffly. I didn't know where to look. I didn't want the woman or child to see the turmoil going on within me, but making eye contact with Zach was out too. It only made the ache in my chest even more pronounced. How was this pull toward him just as intense after 3 years of radio silence as it had been when he was mine? Zach did a quick double take at Lindy. Oh, hey, Lindy. I didn't recognize you with the new hair. Yeah, she said, tucking a strand of her naturally brown hair behind her ear. I got tired of the upkeep. Turns out fake blondes don't have as much fun as real ones because they spend all their money at the salon. He laughed at her joke, and I fought the urge to roll my eyes. I knew she was only trying to ease the tension a bit, but I hated the way his familiar laugh sent a shock of warmth right through me. The little boy next to him waved up at us. Hi, I'm Grayson. Zach stiffened, and I looked closer at the boy for the first time. When his big brown eyes met mine, my heart actually stopped beating. Wait, I'd assumed the woman and child were Zach's new girlfriend and her kid, which would have been bad enough. But as I studied the boy's face, the way his nose and the shape of his brow resembled Zach's so closely, my head spun. Could this be real? Was this really happening? I turned to the woman, then looked up at Zach, then down at Grayson again. Next to me, Lindy's head followed a similar course. She was clearly putting the same thing together. The boy resembled both of them. Not just her, not just him. And since this kid was definitely older than 3, that meant he'd existed before Zach and I had broken up. Ice flooded my veins as I thought about what that meant, and I bent forward slightly so I was on eye level with the boy. It took every ounce of strength I had, but I smiled. And it was a real smile, too, because I wasn't a monster. I might hate the man holding his hand because he'd apparently had a whole family I didn't know about while we were dating. But that wasn't Grayson's fault. Hey, Grayson, I'm Layla. I could feel Zach's eyes on me, but I didn't look up at him.